Why do the passport bros get so much hate? Recently I was been browsing some videos, and when you're trying to research, like, how to date, what people's strategies they're using nowadays to actually make sure that they get in a situation where they can find the partner that they want. Um, I kept finding the same situation over and over. It's as if when a certain group of people decides, hey, let's try to do something that could be a solution to our problem. Someone always has something to say, but it's never anything positive about what they're doing. It's almost to a point where they shame you into thinking, oh, well, what I'm doing is completely like taboo. You know, it's the wrong thing to do. It's immoral, right? And then let's say when it always happens with all these movements that people start. Happen in so many different movements. Black Panther movement, Black Lives Matter. Um, you know, take your pick. I don't care what it is, right? At the end of the day, there's always bad apples that you know spoil a certain movement, or they make it look bad, and then everybody else gets painted with the same brush. You know, there's like also a group like, for example, black people. They say, oh, there's ratchet black people. Yes, there are ratchet black people, but there's also ratchet white people. There's ratchet Mexican people, and brown people, and Latino, Latinos and Latinas. There's ratchet people of every kind of race you could think of, bro. But when it comes to ratchet, guess who gets highlighted? It's always the black people. Like, as if we are the only ratchet people that exist on this planet. Then they turn us into a monolith and say, oh, that's how they behave. That's the popular behavior. Now, I'm not saying that it's not entirely, that it's not our fault at all that that's happening. No, no. We've also had a culture that we've perpetuated in society for someone to assume that, hey, a black person should act like this. Certain stereotypes get promoted more than others. Now, is that a part of propaganda? I don't know, but we it's almost as if you're trying to fight your way out of these stereotypes every time you go out in society, right? It's like you're trying to fight them, to let them know, hey, I'm not like that. Like, I don't think like that. I don't care for it, right? Something like, well, black people can't swim. If you live here in, let's say in North America, and you've never left, right? You could probably think, if you never met black people in your life, and you were just watching what's in the media or what's portrayed in movies and stuff like that, you'd think, well, black people can't swim. Well, they're scared of the water. They're scared, right? Instead of going to the Caribbean and seeing, oh, wait, there's people that can swim here. Yes, there's people that can swim. You go to Africa, there's black people who can swim, right? This whole it's like certain myths or certain stereotypes that get put onto you just because you're a certain color, right? Are really just, in my opinion, it's a very misinformed, or let's say ignorant way of looking at things, right? I don't look at all white people and go like, no white people season their food. I mean, it's a joke every now and then, right? Because it's something you see on social media or whatever. But I'll never go to a white person and go like, nah, you ain't seasoning this, you ain't seasoning that, unless I'm trying to poke fun at them. But I'm not going to assume that they're like, you know, they just hate seasoning their food, right? I'm not gonna assume that, right? And I wouldn't go to another black person and assume that they're a gangster, or assume that they're someone who own, likes chicken all the time and whatever, like, or watermelon and all that garbage. I personally don't like watermelon. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll eat it if it's around. I'll eat it. But if there were a bunch of fruits in front of me and I wanted one that I was gonna pick to eat, and watermelon was there, oranges, pineapples, whatever, I'm not picking the watermelon. Right? I'm picking any other fruit that's there. I'd rather have a mango than a watermelon. Like, everybody's different. We're not a monolith. Now back to the passport bro conversation here is that I don't understand why they get so much hate because of a small group of people that just, you know, ruined the whole brand and just like completely made it look like, passport bros are these dudes going out there and they're just thirsty, right? They're just there to manipulate women and exploit them. Have you actually experienced life with these people? Because at the end of the day, like, when I hang around most of these guys, most of them just want to live a quiet life where they, you know, just want to at least have a partner who's not going to treat them like crap, because they're getting treated like crap where they are, right? So they decide to go somewhere else where they're wanted. Now, they could be taken advantage of, just like they could be taken advantage of here and get told to pay, ridiculous amounts of money, fly a woman out for millions of dollars. I don't even know. Like, there's dudes spending stupid money nowadays. It doesn't make sense to me. But at the end of the day, do you, brother? Right? If you feel like you got to stay here and you got to make things work here, do it. If you want to go abroad and actually try making things work there, do it. Your money goes further anyways. Seems like a better deal to me. Right? But if you can make it work and get there, go. Don't listen to these people that are like, oh, you're not like so and so. You're not like so and so. You can't be a passport bro. Who you telling? Who are you telling? I'm not coming to you and telling you how to live your life. So why are you coming to me and telling me, oh, you can't be so and so? You think you're so and so because you're trying to do this passport bro stuff. At the end of the day, you do what works for you. Right? I'll give you another analogy. If, let's say, you're at a certain, let's say you were selling something like tomatoes. Let's say you were selling tomatoes and someone else, and everybody else was selling potatoes. And whenever people came around, they were buying the potatoes and no one ever wanted the tomatoes. Right? You're selling tomatoes. They're selling potatoes. They're always selling potatoes, right? People are always buying from them, but they don't buy stuff from you because they don't want tomatoes from here. They want potatoes. And then you ask yourself, what should I do? Well, there's two things you could do. You could either grow potatoes and sell potatoes, or you could go somewhere else where people want tomatoes and you sell tomatoes. Right? Now, if you go there and start selling your tomatoes and people start buying them, and someone is like, wait, why are you going over there to sell tomatoes? Why don't you stay over here and keep selling tomatoes where people want potatoes? Does it make any sense? No. Go wherever you're wanted. Go where the demand is. Right? And pretty much do your business, bro. Now, I don't mean do your businesses and go there and disrespect people's cultures and try to exploit people and manipulate them and bring the evil that you were doing in your place over there. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying respect other people's cultures, respect their boundaries, right? Go there, behave yourself, be a courteous person. I've seen a lot of people, friends, family, whoever, like a lot of people go to other countries and they end up finding their significant other that they spend the rest of their life with. That stuff happens all the time. It happens all the time. Right? And the funny thing is, you'll also find people who are where you are, right? That would never give you the time of day. But when a foreigner comes in, they want that person. right? They get with that person first, and then that person they end up marrying that person, and it's like, wait. So wait, you yourself probably married the passport bro. He probably didn't even brand himself like that, but you ended up getting with him. You didn't want to get with me when I'm over here. I've been trying for years. Like, why don't we just let everybody do what works for them and, you know, just stay out of their business? That's their life. Stay out of their business. That strategy works for them. Let everybody be. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell you not to go to another country because you're wanted there or you feel like you're needed there, right? Or you feel appreciated there more than where you're at right now. I'm not going to tell you that because as far as most of the people that I've been around, it's never been a problem. So why is it that now people are online making it a problem? I think it's just a small group of people trying to create some kind of, you know, anarchy or something, some kind of conflict. Maybe all this is fake. Maybe what I'm reacting to is some kind of fake rage that's out there and they're just trying to get people to, you know, be entertained like it's a wrestling match of some sort. Maybe it's just clickbait. Maybe that's the kind of society we've created here. But at the end of the day, I don't think we should get fooled by this garbage that's out here. Live your life. Do what you need to do that benefits you. That's gonna work for you. That's all I could say. That's what I believe. And I don't think it's anybody's job to tell you not to do what you want to do or what you're capable of doing. Go ahead. Find a way to become a passport bro if you want to become a passport bro. If you want to make it where you're at and you want to actually become a more high value male there, fine. Do it. Do it. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who decides what you want to spend your time doing and energy. Right? This is your life. You live it the way you want to live it. Stop having other people dictate what you should do in your life. That's all I wanted to say at the end of the day because I've experienced, you know, situations where I'm moving back and forth between places, between different countries, right? And I've experienced life in different countries, at least two, right? Which is Uganda and Canada. So I'm not I'm not even a person that the perspective I'm speaking from because I was born in Uganda and I lived there for 14 years. Came to Canada, lived here for over 15. So it's like I've lived half my life in both places. Like you can't tell me you can I've seen both sides. I've seen passport bros come through and how they behave and how some of them are unruly and then others, right, are good guys and they ended up marrying women over there and starting lives over there. Some brought them over here. Like it just happens. It's been happening for a long time, right? But this hatred towards people who are doing the same thing that's always been done for a long period of time, I don't understand it. I don't know where that hate's coming from, and it's not making sense to me. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll talk soon. Later.